Hello everyone, it's Rose McClelland here, and I just wanted to talk about the 5 best books that I have read this year, and just to recommend them to you, apart from my own of course. But I am doing the Goodreads challenge, and my challenge is to read 100 books this year, and it's August and I've read 70 so far, so far so good. And I wanted to pick my 5 favourite books from those 70 and recommend them to you. So the first book I want to recommend is called Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. Now this might come a bit back to front, but you'll get the idea what the cover's like, and I mean it's massive. Everyone knows about it. There's been a film made out of it. It's fantastic, and it really was my favourite book of the year, just because I loved the chemistry between the two main characters, and I really wanted to know what was going to happen. Lou had a sort of secret challenge that she'd set herself, and I really wanted to know if she was going to be able to fulfill that challenge, and it was really good to watch their relationship whilst that was going on. Also, the author has decided to write about a subject that is really quite controversial. I don't want to tell you because I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's a subject that's been in the news and everything, and it's very controversial, and she's written about that in a really sort of sensitive way and kind of showed every angle, and it's one of those books that makes you think, I can't judge anyone until I've walked in their shoes. So that was book number 1. The second book that I loved, not as well known, is called the Lemongrove by Helen Walsh. Again, this is back to front, but you get the gist. I'd actually heard about this on Lisa Jewell's blog. She had recommended it, and it's a bit scandalicious actually, quite sort of raunchy, but it's about a woman who goes on holiday with her husband, her 17-year-old daughter, and the daughter's boyfriend, who's also 17. I think the ages are, it's about right. And anyway, she has an affair with the 17-year-old boy. And I mean, I'm not normally into stories like this, I have to say, but it was just exceptionally well written. Everything was really beautifully described, the scenery, you just felt like you were there on holiday. It was beautiful, and a really very good read. So I enjoyed that one. And the third one is also a big successful one that probably everyone knows about. Pretty sure there's a film made out of this as well, and it's called The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins, and this was just fantastic. And I listened to it on audio, and the actors' voices were amazing. There was one in particular who played the role of Megan, and her voice is just gorgeous. I think she's actually an actress in Sherlock Holmes. Can't remember her name now off the top of my head, but a brilliant book, very intense, very chilling, very gripping. It's a psychological thriller. Again, one I'm not normally would read because I'm normally too scared, but it was brilliant, and it's about an active alcoholic who is just in her depths of despair, loneliness, and the stuff that she's watching and witnessing, and it's really gripping. So I really enjoyed that one. The fourth one is a funny one, and it's by Jane Fallon, and it's called Getting Rid of Matthew. I actually discovered that Jane Fallon is the long-term partner of Ricky Gervais, and it's funny because when you read her books, she is very funny as well, and you can see why those two would be together. But Jane Fallon has got a very good way of writing about characters that actually aren't likeable at all, yet you kind of want to know how they're getting on, and you kind of find it all very funny, even though you're like, oh dear, these characters are terrible, so selfish, yet so funny. Really, really good read. Just really light-hearted, really good crack. And the last one I loved was by Nikki Graham, Dying to Be Thin. And again, I'm not, none of these books are my normal kind of likes, because I'm not normally into like celebrity biographies, but this one was really good, and she just came across as so lovely, so honest, brutally honest, to the point where she was quite sort of self-deprecating at times, and just left no stone unturned. Described her whole journey of anorexia with complete honesty. And I mean, I knew that she had suffered from anorexia, but I didn't know to the extent. And I mean, in the book, she talks about how she was actually admitted to the Great Ormond Street Hospital for 3 years. Like 3 years of her teenage life, she was in hospital with anorexia, and she just has showed no signs of getting better at all. And the head of the Great Ormond Street Hospital sat down with her parents and said, she's not the worst patient I've ever seen. She is by far the worst patient I've ever seen. You know, pulling tubes out and all kinds of stuff. So it was a really good read. I found it interesting when she did talk a bit. She doesn't go on loads about Big Brother, but she did talk a bit about it, and I can see that it meant a lot to her. Not really in terms of the fame or the money, but in her self-esteem. So that was a good read as well. So that is 5 books that I have loved and would recommend to you, apart from reading mine. And I hope you enjoyed this little vlog. Bye!